guys, it's Destiny, and today we are going to be discussing Hysilens, Cerydra, Kafka, and Silverwolf. I'll be going over which character would be the best for your account and what each character can offer for accounts as well. For question of the day, I would love to know what is one of your favorite snacks. Lastly, if you enjoy videos like these, make sure to subscribe to see more content from me, hit the like button to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. To begin, let's go over Hysilens. Hysilens is a physical nihility character who is centered around inflicting damage over time onto enemies, being able to detonate damage over time herself, and increasing her own damage as well as the team's through debuffs that she can inflict onto enemies. Starting off with her basic attack, she'll inflict damage onto a single enemy. Hysilens' skill will be able to inflict a vulnerability debuff onto enemies, which will increase the entire team's damage output onto enemies, and in this case result in a 1.2 times damage increase for the team, as it is a 20% vulnerability debuff. As for Hysilens' ultimate, she will deploy a zone that will last for 3 turns and reduce enemies' attack by 15% and defense by 25%, also dealing damage onto all enemies as well. Additionally, for every 1 instance of damage over time taken by an enemy within the zone, Hysilens will deal physical damage over time equal to 80% of her attack onto them. The damage triggers at the start of each turn or after 1 attack by an ally, up to 8 times as we can see here. Additionally, regarding one of Hysilens' traces, the Bubble of Banquets, it will allow Hysilens to detonate all damage over time currently applied onto targets with her ultimate. This will result in massive damage dealt from Hysilens herself. As for Hysilens' talent, whenever an ally attacks, there is a 100% base chance for Hysilens to inflict wind shear, bleed, burn, or shock on that enemy, prioritizing to inflict different states. This is huge for being able to inflict numerous types of damage over time onto enemies, which is also very beneficial in the case of detonating that damage over time either with Hysilens' ultimate or even in the case if you have Kafka on the team with Kafka's kit as well. As for Hysilens' technique, she will create a special dimension and enemies within this dimension will not attack allies. After entering combat, there is a 100% base chance to inflict each enemy with 2 forms of damage over time, being wind shear, bleed, burn, or shock. Additionally, when Hysilens enters battle, Hysilens' trace, the Gladius of Conquest, will allow Hysilens to create a zone with the same effect as her ultimate, lasting for 3 turns. Whenever Hysilens deploys a zone as well, she will recover 1 skill point, which will assist with the skill point usage of the team. Lastly, Hysilens' trace, the Fiddle of Pearls, will increase her damage dealt based on the amount of effect hit rate she has, which the goal would be to go for 120% effect hit rate in order to get a maximum increase of 90%. Overall, Hysilens has a powerful kit catered around damage over time and is a very powerful asset for these teams, as she will be able to lower enemy defenses and inflict a vulnerability debuff onto enemies, which will assist with the team's damage. She can inflict wind shear, bleed, burn, shock onto enemies. She can detonate damage over time with her ultimate. She can assist with skill point regeneration a bit with one of her traces, and so on. When it comes to teams, Hysilens will primarily be alongside damage over time characters, one of her strongest synergies being Kafka, as Kafka will be able to frequently detonate damage over time with her kit, which will increase the front-loaded damage of the team. And Hysilens will be able to assist with inflicting damage over time, detonating damage over time with her ultimate, increasing the damage allies deal onto enemies with her debuffs, and so on. For the 3rd slot, you would primarily be looking at another damage over time character or a buffer, and lastly a sustain of your choice. Some excellent options being Huahua, Gallagher is a great budget-friendly option, and so on. For those interested in improving their damage over time teams, Hysilens will be a very good option to consider picking up. But for those that aren't interested in damage over time, then her pull value can heavily diminish. Speaking of the damage over time playstyle, we also have Kafka rerunning alongside Hysilens, which is a core character for the damage over time playstyle thanks to her frequent detonations through her skill, ultimate, and follow-ups. Kafka will be able to use her ultimate very frequently, as her trace of Plunder will assist with gaining more energy. You can also equip before the tutorial mission begins as a free-to-play option, which can assist with her regenerating even more energy, since when she attacks enemies with their defense reduced, she'll recover additional energy with the Slide Cone. Kafka can also increase an ally's attack by 100% as long as they have 75% effect hit rate or higher. This highly benefits not only Kafka herself, but other damage over time characters on the team as well. Kafka heavily assists with the front-loaded damage of the damage over time playstyle, which makes her a very crucial character for damage over time teams, as you'll be able to deal massive damage on your own turns, as well as when it is the enemy's turn with the other damage over time characters as well alongside Kafka. From my tests so far, for those interested in the damage over time playstyle, I would recommend first considering Kafka and then Hysilens. One thing to note regarding both Hysilens and Kafka though is that they can nicely take advantage of 4-star or even free 5-star light cones, as I was able to test them out with more premium light cones as well as more budget-friendly light cones, and was able to achieve excellent results with the budget-friendly light cones, which is featured in one of my latest videos on the channel. Now when it comes to the second half of version 3.5, we'll have Cerydra and Silverwolf. Starting off with Cerydra, she's a wind harmony character who can enable an ally on the team to use their skill twice consecutively with her charge mechanic. Cerydra focuses on providing single target buffs to an ally, consisting of all type res pen, crit damage, attack, and speed. When it comes to her basic attack, she will attack a single enemy. Cerydra's skill will provide an ally with a buff, which will increase their attack and speed and give Cerydra 1 point of charge. She can hold up to 8 points of charge, and once she reaches 6 points of charge, it'll upgrade the buff on the ally selected from her skill. This will dispel that ally's crowd control debuffs, increase the crit damage of their skill, and increase their ult type res pen as well. When you reach 6 points of charge, when that ally uses their skill, it will duplicate the skill being used. Some examples of this can be found in using 2 enhanced skill meteor attacks in a row without having to worry about how much Scourge you have. And Naxa now being able to use 4 skills in a row, as he is already able to skill twice in a row. With the duplicate skill from Cerydra, this now becomes 4 times in a row. From what we do know so far, Cerydra will gain charge whenever the ally with the buff uses their basic attack or skill, when Cerydra herself uses her skill, and when Cerydra uses her ultimate, she will gain 2 points of charge and also deal damage onto all enemies. Cerydra synergizes with characters that heavily want to take advantage of this duplicate skill. 2 characters that I've already mentioned that can nicely take advantage of this would be Finan and Naxa, and as for other synergies, I would have to personally test them out before I'm able to give my full thoughts on them, but some potential ideas could be Fei Xiao. Fei Xiao can take advantage of the duplicate skill for more Flying Aureus stacks, and of course take advantage of the buffs that Cerydra is able to provide. If you do have an E2 Fei Xiao on top of that, this results in even more Flying Aureus stacks for Fei Xiao. Zila can take advantage of the buffs and the duplicate skill, and there also could be the potential for the Herda to take advantage of this, especially if you have the Herda's E1, as when the enhanced skill calculates the number of interpretation stacks, it'll additionally count 50% of the number of interpretation stacks on one target, with the most stacks among the primary and adjacent targets. And then when interpretation is reset by using her enhanced skill, the stack number is reset to 15 instead. So in this scenario, the duplicate skill might end up being very handy with an E1 Herda. I'll also test it out with E0 Herda once I'm able to showcase Cerydra on the channel, but there could end up being some very interesting synergies with her in particular when it comes to the duplicate skill. Cerydra's role though may seem a bit niche in comparison though to some of our other Harmony characters from what we do know so far. I would say when it comes to comparing her to a character like Tribi is definitely more versatile when it comes to all the teams she could be paired alongside and what she provides for teams, especially with the buffs that she grants. So for Cerydra in particular, she does seem to appear a bit more niche than some of our other Harmony characters, just from what we do know so far. As for the rerun alongside Cerydra though, it'll be Silverwolf, who received great buffs alongside Kafka in version 3.4. Silverwolf is a quantum nihility character who's able to implant a weakness type of an ally onto an enemy, massively reduce enemy defenses, reduce enemy resistances, she's able to use her ultimate often as well as debuff enemies frequently, and so on. Silverwolf's skill will implant the weakness type of an ally that is in the first position of the team lineup, which will assist with breaking enemies, as well as reduce the enemy target's resistance to that weakness type by 20% for 3 turns. Additionally, there is a 100% base chance to further reduce that target's ult type resistance by 13% for 2 turns. Silverwolf's ultimate will hit all enemies and reduce their defenses by 45% for 3 turns. Additionally, with her talent, Silverwolf will create 3 types of bugs. Each of her bugs will be able to inflict a different debuff, one of which reducing an enemy's attack by 10%, reducing enemies' defense by 12%, and reducing their speed by 6%. After every attack launched by Silverwolf, she will have a 100% base chance to implant one random bug onto the attacked enemy. And then when the enemy does get defeated, the weakness Silverwolf implanted onto them will also transfer to another surviving enemy on the field that hasn't been implanted with a weakness type by Silverwolf, prioritizing targets at the elite level or above. Another thing worth noting regarding Silverwolf's kit is that her Trace Inject will help with her ultimate frequency due to the additional energy that she will gain. Silverwolf is an excellent debuffer who can be used on varieties of teams, and her buffs have nicely helped with her versatilities for teams as well. She could be a nice option for those lacking supports and also love Silverwolf as a character. Now when it comes to which character to pull, for those interested in the damage over time playstyle, you would primarily be looking at the first half banners, Kafka and Hysilens. If you do not have either character, I would first recommend considering Kafka, as she is one of the most important characters for the playstyle due to her frequent detonations. For those that already have Kafka though, Hysilens will be an amazing option to improve your damage over time team. For those that aren't interested in the damage over time playstyle though, you can skip both of these characters. As for Cerydra, she does appear to be a more niche support as mentioned in comparison to some of our other supports. I did mention some of her very nice synergies that we do know of so far though, which will be fine in Anaxa. Fine in being able to take advantage of his enhanced skill twice with only 4 stacks of Scourge, and then Anaxa being able to take advantage of 4 skills in a row thanks to Cerydra. There is a chance though for Cerydra's value to improve in the future if we get more characters who can nicely synergize with her duplicate skill mechanic and are able to quickly build up charge points to take advantage of her mechanics as well. Once again though, I will definitely be testing out some synergies with her just to be able to give my full thoughts on her closer to her release, so do stay tuned for those videos as well. For those who already have some of the top tier supports though and don't really have much of a need for Cerydra, then she can more so be consideration perhaps for a rerun rather than on her first banner release. Considering her for a rerun will also allow us to see more of her versatility as time goes on. I do plan to do extensive testing with Cerydra once I'm able to do so, just so we can see more potential synergies for her. As for Silverwolf, if you're lacking supports and of course are a fan of Silverwolf, then she could be a nice versatile support for your account. In version 3.6, we will be getting the new March 7th referred to as Evernight, as well as a new Dan Heng, which if you're on the fence for the second half being Cerydra and Silverwolf, I would recommend waiting until the 3.6 livestream for more information on them to determine which character you personally find the most desirable to pull for your account. I'd love to know though if you plan to pull any of the characters from version 3.5. For me personally, I am the most excited for Hysilens as she will nicely improve the damage over time playstyle, especially alongside Kafka. I hope you all did enjoy today's video though, and if you did, consider subscribing to see more content from me, leave a like to support the video, and I hope you all have a great one. Peace.